go through challenges in life, yet they have persevered and they're here past trying to learn the VR stuff. And so I want you guys to hear them. So I would ask Miss Faye if she'll come up first and to introduce herself and do the 5-minute talk, and then Salathia. So again, give them some confetti. Give them.
Hello, everyone. I am so nervous doing this. This is my first time on the VR set, and hopefully I do okay. My name is Faye Prescott. Can everyone hear me okay? Great. My name is Faye Prescott, and I am the CEO of My Veterans Place Savannah. My Veterans Place Savannah is a nonprofit organization who is committed to serving military families and veterans. And while we are here in the women's horizon, sadly to say, just a couple of days ago, we lost a veteran, a female veteran, to domestic violence. Women that are still suffering with domestic violence, to try to keep from having them suffer in silence. So we also have a buddy check where we also check on each other to see how they're doing. And we're here like an open voice for them. We don't want any woman to go suffering in silence. We have women throughout the military who have gotten out and they have went through some type of sexual harassment or some type of sexual trauma, and we are here for them. So if you ever know anyone, please reach out to My Veterans Place Savannah and let them know that there is someone that has an open ear to listen to them and to be able to help them. We have a lot of suicide in the with veterans. We were experiencing at one time 22 veterans per day to suicide, men and women. So My Veterans Place Savannah offers counseling for those men and women, and we also have an ear to listen to. Not only do we do that, we do bonding activities with our veterans and military families. Whatever their need are, we are committed to helping them with those needs. Whether they would like to get connected to the VA, their medical claims, or anything that they're going on in their personal life, My Veterans Place is here to help them. No matter which state they live in, we are here to connect them to the resources and to everything that they need.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salathia Deloach, and I am a 22-year survivor of lupus. This year, in the month of June, will make 23 years of me being diagnosed with lupus. And we started the organization called Deloach Lupus Foundation. And the Deloach Lupus Foundation was started solely because of my journey of being diagnosed with lupus. I was unable to find the resources that I needed, to assist me on my journey. I was only 17 years old when I was diagnosed. I just graduated from high school. And so you can imagine, as a kid, not knowing what lupus is. And I just want to, use this as an opportunity or a moment to actually educate the room. Lupus is an autoimmune disease. And that autoimmune disease can affect any organ that is within your body. And for me, when I was diagnosed with lupus, lupus immediately affected my kidneys. And I began to experience kidney failure. I had what is called the butterfly rash. And the butterfly rash is formed on the cheeks, typically is where the butterfly rash is going to form. And so those were my first two symptoms of being diagnosed with lupus. And so, as I stated, I was unable to find resources to assist me on my journey. And I also thought that there weren't any other lupus warriors that existed in the world because I couldn't find anything. When I looked online to Google what lupus was, some of the first information that I found was that I was going to die. That the death of someone being diagnosed with lupus was the death. And so I am 22 years into this journey. So if there is anyone out there that has ever been diagnosed with lupus, or someone that has been diagnosed with lupus, I'm here to tell you that there is life after the diagnosis. And I believe that, that information being communicated to the community is very, very important, because that is a scary thing to hear, that you are going to die just because you have received a diagnosis. And so I speak life to anyone that has ever received a diagnosis. We started the organization right before the pandemic, or I filled out the documentation for the organization right before the pandemic. So I had to wait the entire pandemic just to wait on the government to tell me that we could officially be a 501c3 organization. But since we've been established, we have had the wonderful opportunity to serve lupus warriors in the city of Savannah. I work with some of the larger organizations as well. They have been of great support to us as an organization, and that is so amazing to be able to say, that we have the support of some of the national organizations that exist. But we have support group meetings, and those support group meetings take place, and I love to call them loopy link ups. Those loopy link ups, they take place on every third Tuesday of the month, and we are right now on Zoom. So if any of you are interested or know anyone that's been diagnosed with lupus, we welcome you all to invite them to join us on Zoom. They can follow me on Instagram, and I am on Instagram called Lent Warrior. So they can follow me on Instagram, and I post the information about the support groups. But in addition to that, I am not an actual counselor, but I do one-on-one sessions with lupus warriors that do need that assistance, to try to help them find the resources that they need, to help them on that journey. So I want to thank you all for this opportunity to come before you. This has been an amazing opportunity, and a very first, as Mrs. Bernice mentioned, this is my first time actually having the opportunity to engage. And what better room to do that in than a room full of diverse women? Give yourselves a round of applause, or throw some confetti for yourselves. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, I just want to thank you all for this opportunity. It has been absolutely amazing to stand before you. Thank you.
The world is yours and beyond.
Appreciate it, Paige.
Thank you. And
Hello.
wait one sec. Shay has been a driving leader in Women in Horizon since you've really first come into the metaverse. You've been a deep friend, ally, and leader in Women in Horizon, from building your worlds to your presence and your voice and your care. Thank you so much for being here and being part of the way that we've risen together.
Yes, I appreciate you, Paige. Like, I definitely wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't be in the space that I am now if it wasn't for Paige. Like, I met her like my first few weeks here in Horizon, and she really. I'm sorry, and she really was the first person that ever encouraged me to go into build mode. So really thank my art journey to her, because I do. But hello everyone. I'm Shay Arts, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, as a self-taught artist with my art business, A Real Touch. And the past 2 years I've been here at Horizon, Women in Horizon has been a really, really big part of my life, especially personally. This was the first coming into Horizon Worlds and joining the group and meeting the first few ladies that were there in the beginning was the first time I ever found a group of women that were very like-minded. They were into the things that I were into. They were so different, but we shared so many background commonalities that it really helped me come out of the shell that I was in at the time post-COVID. And so my talk today, it's not about business or anything. I want to talk about being intentional, because I believe that being intentional has a profound impact on our daily lives, and it definitely does for me. And for me, it was a very transformative tool into building the life that I wanted to have, that I feel happy and comfortable with.
So, the definition of being intentional means making deliberate choices to reflect what is most important to you. Being intentional, becoming intentional can help us maintain a positive mindset, help us reach goals, and be more present in the moment. And it also helps increase our focus and commitment. Um, oh, 1 second. Sorry. Intentionality for me is a concept that goes beyond action. It's something that encompasses my thoughts, my emotions, and the energy that I try to bring into every interaction that I have. For me, I try to be mindful and purposeful, not just going through the motions, but actively choosing how I engage with myself and how I engage with others. A couple of you may know my stories from in the past, but I had a very adverse childhood. I didn't grow up with my parents. I didn't have a stable upbringing, and so I dealt with a lot of adverse childhood trauma during my teen years, especially becoming a mother at 16. And as a being an adult, and I learned to deal with those post-traumatic triggers by doing shadow work, by looking into the things that affected me and what triggered me, and taking accountability for the roles that I played in it, and learning to become intentional in my everyday life to change those patterns, those life patterns. So for me, coming with dealing with past trauma and anxiety, intentionality was a very powerful impact. The trauma left deep scars on how I perceive and engage with the world. And for the first 5 or 6 years after becoming 18, I was just going through the motions. I was not living life. I was just literally just getting through day by day, and it led to feelings of vulnerability, of deep mistrust, and constant anxiety. But learning to approach my interactions with intentionality, I learned to cultivate my own environments to promote safety, to learn what my boundaries were, and to foster my own healing. And I started the process around 27, 28, but it wasn't until I got the headset for my 30th birthday in 22 that I came in as I was on my healing journey, that I met Paige and joined Women in Horizon, and so that really started to come into fruition, to where even in IRL, I managed to build up more of a confidence and more of learned more to manifest the things that I want, and to be intentional. It helped me approach social interactions with empathy and understanding. Coming into the space and meeting people from all different types of life is very daunting sometimes, and I'm naturally an introvert. A lot of times when I talk, my voice shake, but I've learned to be intentional on continuing speaking through it, and to continuing to even get over the anxiety. So I try to listen actively. I try to validate others' experiences, and I try to offer support without judgment. Um, and I want to create space. I want to help cultivate and create these spaces where everyone feels seen and heard and valued. Taking this approach was crucial for me with navigating trauma and anxiety, and it fostered a deep sense of connection and validation for myself. Then we all have the opportunity, especially here in the metaverse, to cultivate our own experience and to shape the kind of connections that we want. Most importantly, being intentional is about how we speak to ourselves. Self compassion and self acceptance play a vital role in my healing from it. By setting intentions to practice self care every day, to actively challenge negative self talk to myself, and to cultivate a positive self healing so I can get that sense of inner peace and resilience. Right now, I have a lot going on and I don't feel my best getting up. So when I come out, I try to dress my lightest. When I come to the metaverse, I put on something that makes me feel light, that makes me feel happy, to try to manifest that and to build that back out. And so it becomes a reality, and it helps me get over it. So yeah, with mindfulness, empathy, and resilience, being intentional can help us with our day-to-day interactions. It can help us with these deeper connections. It can help with greater self-awareness. And for me, it was a very meaningful journey through my life, overcoming setbacks with losing my job during the pandemic, the children I had, managing my mental health challenges, being a mother to children and not having that mother figure. I had to be very intentional on how I speak to my children and how I interact with them, so they won't have those same type of things that I had to deal with. So all in all, be intentional. Everyone should be intentional with everyone that you speak with. And sometimes, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just we make mistakes. Sometimes we have interactions with people that people may not take the way that we meant to, and that comes from just from being mindful of how we speak to people, mindful that someone may be going through things that we don't know too. So it's very important to be intentional to everyone we speak with any type of interaction, whether that person gives you positive or negative feedback. Be intentional with yourself and how you interact, and lead with resilience and purpose. So that's my speech, and thank you all.
Is panels and fireside chat. Cool,
I
cool,
don't know whose camera
cool.
this is, but I'm right there.
Yay.
Yes.